this week, you get to come with me through just a normal day's makeup I do every morning. A lot of people ask me how long this takes me. It does take me about 30 minutes. Obviously, this video is sped up. So today, I want to talk to you about this concept of healing. The other day, I said a comment to Derek about how dangerous it is if we don't heal from our insecurities. And it's absolutely true, because we can go around hurting people we're not even meaning to hurt, because we're so unhealed in certain areas that we don't even know how to act in certain situations. Like, for instance, celebrating other people. How often have you wanted something, a new promotion, or a significant other, losing weight? I mean, there's a number of things we all want. But when was the last time that you celebrated someone who got that while you were still longing for it? I know there was times in my life where it was incredibly hard to celebrate anyone because I was so miserable inside with myself. And I know a lot of that had to do with the fact that my focus was completely on my own self. But a lot of it also had to do with the fact that I was not healthy on the inside. My heart was so burdened, and it made me jealous. It straight up made me a jealous person. And I remember constantly crying out to God and asking Him to allow me to be genuinely happy for people. And I remember at that time of my life asking God to allow me to remove myself from certain situations. And I heard a sermon yesterday that said these two disciples were traveling and they asked God if they can go to this area, and God said no. And then they asked God if they can go to this other area, and God said no. And then I don't remember exact words, but by their reasoning, I think that's what it was, by their reasoning, they ended up in this other area. And that meant that they tried going to certain areas and God would say no. God would prevent it somehow, right? But then they go to this one area and they didn't have anything stopping them. And so that's how they decided that was God's will for their life. I remember just talking to so many people during that season of my life, and they would tell me, this particular place that you're going, that you're asking to be removed from, it's making you miserable. It's causing you to dread every single time you're there. And eventually, that's going to be burned into your brain when you continue going to some place that's just sucking the life out of you. And I remember I cried out to God, I can't tell you how many times. And I never heard anything. I never heard a direct yes. I never heard, a leave. I never heard any of that. But I can say now that I've done it, this was several years ago, it was honestly the best thing I could have possibly done for myself, for my health, my mental health, my spiritual health. But anyway, fast forward several years, I celebrate people abundantly. And I say that with pride because the Holy Spirit did heal me. 100% He healed me. But our surroundings a lot of time are what is breaking us down. Just think, if you have healthy friends that build you up all the time and are talking you up and talking positive things over your life, obviously what's going to come from that, right? And if you have friends that are breaking you down and constantly criticizing you and constantly telling you that you're not enough, situations that are constantly making you feel less than, what's going to come from it? Trust me, I am all about perspective. But there are some situations that are just downright unhealthy. And they play a big part in our unhealthiness and our unhealed triggers traumas. And so what I wanted to say after all that is, in that season of my life, there were so many people I truly, genuinely could have celebrated, but I could never bring myself to do it. I wanted to genuinely love people. I wanted to genuinely celebrate their accomplishments. I wanted to genuinely be excited when someone got something that, yeah, maybe I want to, but I still want to celebrate them and be happy for them and be their little cheerleader. Because why not? It is so fun to hear my husband say that he went to Starbucks one day, and I am so excited for him, as if I did too. I'm so excited to hear that my friend got praised for this good job she did, or another friend got just so encouraged in the day that it just made her whole entire week. I'm so excited to hear those things, as if it's happening to me. Something else me and Derek talk about often is how God has changed our heart and our marriage with each other. Something Derek always references is his desire when he gets our water jug out to pour a glass of water, and he has my cup and his cup. He always goes to pour mine first. And he praises God because he knows that that is a move of God on his heart, because that's not how he used to be. He would always go to his cup first. And another thing is, so many times we talk to each other about how we do things in our marriage because we know that the other one would like it. Like things around the house that are easily overlooked, like dishes in the sink or the toilet paper roll being empty. Little things we want the other person to be completely off the hook of, or walk into a clean house, or walk into the bathroom with all the product filled. Just little things make such a difference. When we talk about how we love to operate out of a spirit of love for each other and not a spirit of have to. I have to do this because insecurities might say they're gonna leave me if I don't, or I'm not gonna be good enough, or they're gonna get mad. What are you operating under today? Are you operating out of fear? Are you operating out of this longing to be accepted, thinking that people will pay attention to you if you do everything right? I remember there was a period of my life where I literally molded myself into exactly what anyone else would want. I got to a point where I kept feeling that God was telling me that I'm gonna have to let some people down, and that it's gonna be okay, because perfection was what I strived for, and boy, oh boy, did I beat myself up if I was not perfect. I remember calling a friend at that time and saying out loud, she said, "What are you mad about?" And I said, "I'm mad because I'm not perfect. Trying to operate out of a spirit that's not even available to me. There's no way on earth anyone, including you and I, will be perfect. Ever. Period. End of story. Final answer." So what are you operating out of today? I think if we all take a look at what our driving forces are, what our motivations are, it would be extremely healthy for the world around us. I think it's time to remove ourselves from unhealthy situations. Mind you, I'm speaking of my perfect imagined world, but I'm also speaking for a healed you, a celebrated you, a you that can embrace others and live freely and love freely and celebrate others freely, even if you still want. I want you to have that. I want you to embrace that, and I want you to end up with that, because honestly, there is nothing better in the world. It's such an amazing feeling, and I'm not saying I have reached the final goal, but I am speaking as a person who has gone through extreme unhealed trauma to a person who most of the time acts out of love and not because I have to. And I want you to as well. So this week I encourage you to explore these areas. Decide for yourself, because you are worth it, friend, to remove yourself from situations that are just bringing you down, that are not healthy for you. And I know there are some living situations that are unavoidable right now. I know that there are family relations, there are circumstances that can't be changed immediately. I understand that. But some way, somehow, find a mental space that you can go to that blocks those comments out that just discourage you and make you feel little and make you feel like you can't accomplish anything in life. I pray that you are deafened to the lies that are spoken over you. I pray your ears are open to love and encouragement and how worthy and how loved and how incredible you are. And I hope this week that you just find yourself shining brighter than you've seen yourself shining in a long time. Loving in a way that maybe you've never felt that you've loved before. And I hope that you see yourself as how precious and incredible and amazing you are. I hope you enjoyed this video.